Welcome back to Isimo. If you haven't already, check out us on Patreon. For $2 a month, you get bonus episodes every week. For $5 a month, you get access to our Discord. And for $20 a month, you get a Jarito credit at the beginning of each episode, which is what I'll do right now. Shout out to Nat Milo, Alex Knotts, Alex Nunez, Alex Zemail, a lot of Alexes, Amanda Pinetto, Angie Mora, Aparni Rani, Chacaron, Christian Alvarado, David Cerato, DJ Moon, Eddie Bravo. DJ Moon, thanks for all the art, dude.
Oh, hell yeah.
Shout out Hugh.
Eddie Bravo.
Yeah, Eddie Bravo, not that one, dude. Fantastic Fat Man, Gabby Ferris, Ian Anderson, Isai Facio, Izzy Sandoval, Kareem, Cassandra Murrow, Laisha Ashley, Lizbeth Cruz. Oh, Nat Milo. Sorry about that. I say Nat Milo. It's Nat Milo. I was like, somebody told me to correct it. Anyway, sorry. Shout out Nat Milo. Daria, Mexican Superman, Twex Luther, shout out. Michael Zuniga, My Little Jabroni, Nia Town, Nicholas Moreno, aka
Calzone.
Damn, you're fast, dude.
So threatening.
Pedro, I'm assuming. P-Dog. Rafael Flores, Rosa Alarcon, my mom, Serena, Susanna Guzman, Yesenia Oropeza, and Zialtino. Do yourself a favor and check us out. And thank you, Jaritos.
Head over to Instagram and follow at KidBrother Inc. That's KidBrother INC for all your photography and video needs.
And if you're looking for any graphic design work or just a personal commission, I do artwork. You can find me at the Ryan Reyes on Instagram.
Don't you have shows coming up too?
Also, I have shows coming up. This Sunday, I'm going to be in LA at, I think it's called Oino Vino.
Oino Vino.
Oino Vino.
He's from San
on the show, all right? For Autism Awareness Show, it's going to be dope.
Oh.
In Los Angeles. Check out if you go to my Instagram or my TikTok, you can check out the bio link for tickets. Hello! And welcome to Isimo Podcast. It's semi-podcast.
Your name is what?
My name is Ryan Reyes.
I'm Dominic Angel.
And I'm Gerardo Alarcon. And today we have a guest.
And today we have a guest.
Oh shit, who is it, Ryan? Well, check it out. Our guest today, you may have heard of our guest before. He was season 2 roast battle champion. He's a Comedy Store paid regular. This fool's been on JRE, dog. So hopefully he brings some of that energy to the ISIMO, fool. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But give it up right now for our good friend Frank Castillo.
It's our special guest.
Man, it feels good. It feels good to be with my people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Hello.
On a scale from 1 to 10, how Mexican are you?
How Mexican am I?
Oh my God.
Yeah, they already know this trick.
That's. I mean, I am Mexican.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
First one to get it right. High five.
Thank you. Yeah. Well, it's also so funny because it's like, you know, there's always that, like, you know, the struggle of like your identity and all that shit. But I remember we were talking the other day and I heard you insult a Mexican guy and you're like, fucking coconut. And the way you said coconut and just the anger you had, I was like, ooh, I felt that. I was like, ooh, damn.
That's what I do off the podcast.
Oh man, that's so funny.
Hell yeah, dude! And you're a regular listener of Isimo, right?
Yeah. I listen to all the clips.
I watch the clips.
Yeah, I watch every single clip. Haven't subscribed to the Patreon, which I should.
And so should you.
Yeah. But first of all, before we start the episode, Dominic, go ahead and give him the spiel, dog.
All right. Just a reminder, 1 year anniversary celebrations coming up. Sorry. It sounded, I don't know. It's coming from all sides at this point. May 23rd at Resident in downtown LA. There's going to be comedy by the three of us.
Yeah.
Cholo Orange. What the fuck? I can't do a fucking announcement. Cholo Orange. Melvin Diaz is going to be hosting the night. It's going to be really fun. May 23rd, get your tickets.
Sorry.
Information is in the description. Also, we have shirts. We announced our winners. We reached out to them directly, so there's no funny business.
Yeah.
Right? Because people are going to steal the winner spot.
Yep.
Right? But we're giving away the shirts. Check the links all in the bio.
Yeah, dog. And I'm stoked. I can't wait. I've been working on my time. I got like a minute and a half, dude. Good stand up. Just kidding.
I mean, someone was saying it to me. I was like, if you theoretically come up with like a new 5 minutes every month, in a year, you will have however that adds up to.
Yeah. He doesn't know math.
It's an hour.
Exactly, an hour. You'll have an hour. But it's also like, it's if you're constantly working.
Yeah, it's hard. I saw this will do a show on Friday and. Can you say killed it for me?
I just look like Phil threatened by your
But anyways, the reason why we brought Frank today is because, as most of you know, today's 420. Yeah. This episode drops on 420. And, I know a thing or two about weed. But before it got legal, you know what I mean? Now it's legal shit. I didn't smoke weed when it was legal. I smoked when it was a cool thing to do.
Yeah, exactly. Now you're not like a square like me.
Yeah. You're a square because you smoke weed.
Yeah, man. No, I buy legal weed. You know what I mean? There's nothing worse than being a guy that buys legal weed. Back in the day, you used to have to go to one guy, and he was usually like your friend.
Yep.
Yeah.
With me, it was Bobby Greenleaf. His name was not Greenleaf, but he told me that's his last name. And he was a black dude with orange hair.
Yeah.
It was like wild, dude. And this fool had the best shit. And he had like his mom's apartment. You would walk up to the window and he would open the window and he would just give you your weed. You give him cash.
Oh, that sounds great.
It was pretty dope, dude.
That's pretty
That
sick.
description sounds so fake. It sounds like you're high and you're trying to talk to the cops. He had orange hair. His name was Greenleaf. He went that way.
He's at his mom's house right now.
Yeah. But I would get very baked off of weed. Did you guys ever have a drug dealer growing up?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah. I had my homie Liz from high school. She used to do this weird thing where we would meet up in a parking lot, and like in a Walmart parking lot, and then we had to like park our cars like this.
Yeah.
But then she would get into our car and then like hang out, and then she'd be like, "Okay, drive around." I'm like, just give us the stuff. Like, like what the fuck? She's trying to get the cops off our trail. It's like,
Yeah. No one's trying to bust you for hate.
yeah, exactly.
And then also with Ryan, you don't really drive much. You know, I'm legally blind. Did you ever have a drug dealer, like a weed dealer or anything?
Yeah. Sort of.
Within walking distance or?
No. I mean, I knew people that smoked weed.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I didn't need to drive to the place if I have a dealer. They came to me.
Oh, shit. Ryan's got it like
Plus, we
that.
were in
Huh?
like 3 of the same classes in high school.
All right, sorry, I have to ask this.
Yeah.
So, did your dealer know you were autistic?
Yes.
And did he give you like a discount or anything?
I mean, I thought you were gonna ask, did weed give you autism?
No. Because by the way, if it did, I would absolutely smoke that strain. You smoke it, you start doing verbal tics and shit. Dude, just
call it the
stimming out of
Einstein.
nowhere.
Fucking
You call it what?
the Einstein.
Oh, the Einstein. Oh, shit.
This shit's called mask.
It's a reference to our Patreon.
It's so funny. And this is kind of off topic, but
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of the show and I'd watch all the clips. And I remember the first time I met you was at Chatterbox, and I remember I walked up to you, and it was just one of those things that like you hear comics talk about like fans of podcasts being too familiar with people because they listen to them all the time. And I remember I walked up to you and I was like, "Yo, what's up, man?" And then you were just like, all right, cool, hey. And I was like, "Oh yeah, we don't know each other." I was like, "We've never met."
That's so funny. No, because from my perspective, I like remember shaking your hand saying hi, but I didn't realize till after I left that I thought you were someone else, and that's why I said hi.
Yeah.
So I thought I was the one being weird.
No. It was so because I was like, "Oh yeah, I've never properly introduced myself to him. I just assumed that we knew each other because I watched your clips."
I literally, I think, told this story like 2 weeks
Yeah.
ago. From my perspective.
Yeah.
Do you ever try to take back the interaction and like go back like to match the energy? Like when you have that realization, you're like, "Oh shit, that was Frank," and then you'd be like, "Hey, what's up, dude? I totally forgot it was you."
Sometimes I do that. I'm very like, "Oh, my bad." You know what I mean?
Yeah. What's it called? I was thinking about an Einstein weed joke. It's like, how good is that weed? Man, it makes you socially awkward, dog. Fuck. I knew it wasn't going to work.
Did you
Hold
smoke
on.
it right now?
I got one. It's Einstein weed. It's so good when you smoke it, you'll want to marry your cousin.
I just thought of one related to you. It's like, it's called Einstein because it makes you go.
Oh, that's great. Well, I gave you permission. I've never given anyone permission to smoke in my apartment. As everyone knows, I'm 3.5 years sober. It's so funny, dude. On negative reviews of the podcast, people will say like, "We get it. You're sober. You lost your you lost your personality."
Yeah, Mexicans don't give a shit. White people will be like, "Congratulations on your journey to sobriety. I'm really proud of you." Mexicans will be like, "Oh, so you're lame now?"
Oh, so you can't handle your liquor, fool?
Yeah.
Like, nah, fool. I like to smoke, dog.
Yeah, I smoke a lot of weed. It is like my shit.
So I knew if you were going to come here, I had to allow you to smoke. So you're free to smoke whenever you want.
Did you want to take a dab?
Yeah.
I'll put it on
Oh,
the
shit.
low. Oh, all right.
Oh, so you got like the low setting, right?
Well, I have it on the low setting for this. So all that means is it's not going to get super hot. So when you hit it, you're just going to taste a lot of flavor more than anything.
Ooh.
So yeah.
Yeah, he has a friend JP. Then he'll talk to you about weed like it's a fucking a classic car, dog.
When it vibrates, go ahead and inhale. You just inhale from the top. Yeah. Or it should vibrate.
Ooh,
So
you hear that sound, dude? That bubbly.
hold it a little straight. There we go.
Oh shit!
I think it's still heating up.
Look at Ryan's
Yeah,
eyes
you
are getting
might-
red right there, dude.
Like they're changing colors.
All right, now you're good.
Oh shit! Is that a new puppy?
I'm okay.
Ryan, what was the what was the first time you ever smoked weed?
The very first time
Today?
I was 16,
Yeah.
and honestly, the first like any drugs I ever had was a wax dab.
Yeah.
Where you like scoop it and heat it on the little thing. And it was the worst fucking experience of my life.
Yeah.
Because I didn't like get any sense of euphoria or lightheadedness. I just got vertigo for 3 hours.
Oh jeez.
It was the fucking worst. I have a joke about it where I was like trying to look normal in 7-Eleven, but I'm walking like a fucking moon man.
Yeah.
And I realized that I'm walking weird, so I'm like, oh, you gotta straighten it out. And I remembered that I was in I remember that I was in marching band, so I started like straightening my legs, but
Yeah.
now I'm fucking waddling like a penguin because that's how you march.
Yeah.
Is heel to toe. And then we went to my friend's house. She eventually became like the person I got weed from, and we were watching. What is it? The Cave? That one where the ladies dive into. The cavern?
Yeah. Or the Descent or the Cave?
The Descent.
The
The Descent's great. The Cave's also pretty good.
And about an hour in, she looks at me and she's like, "Are you okay?" And apparently, I had been sliding the whole time because at one point I'm like on my side, and I'm like, "Why?"
Yeah, I'm good.
She's like, "You're on your side." I'm like, "I am." And I get up and I feel like I grew 3 feet. I'm like, "Oh,
Oh.
am I high?
Am I high?
Is this what it's like? This is awful."
Yeah.
But then I tried the next, I was in and out of it for a while. And then I started smoking regularly after we went to Portland because I found this strain that is actually very good for my anxiety.
Oh yeah.
And the lady was pothead, like dealers in Portland are so excited when they think they found something perfect for you.
Yeah.
Because she's like, "You're a comedian, right?" Because apparently
the
it's
secret.
like a rare strain, but it's called the Joker's Laugh, and it's literally just like sativa blended with CBD, so that it's more mellow than regular sativa.
So your joints feel good and your brain is popping, dog. You know what I'm saying?
So I want to kill Batman.
This shit right here makes you fucking laugh a lot. So there was no joke there. I don't know what to say. What about you, Dominic? First time?
I didn't start smoking weed until I was like until after I graduated high school already.
Yeah.
The first time was kind of like not very memorable, but I had a good experience. I was like, okay, I could do this now. And then literally the next day, I was like, I'm ready to drop a dub, dude. Give me that shit.
You're putting up Bob Marley posters and shit. You're just like, let me get my hair ready.
One love.
I was in this film class, and so like I smoked with this dude who had a med card, because the other guys they just got it from a dealer, but then there was this dude with a med card, so he had like the real strong stuff, and he smoked me out. And afterwards, he pulled out a sack of jelly beans. It's like it's totally typical like stoner shit, like all the dumb experiences. Out of like the middle console, he pulled out like a plastic bag filled with jelly beans. They were all the same flavor. He's like, "This is what I smoke. This is what I fucking eat when I smoke, dude. Toasted marshmallow." And so he gave me a couple, and I won't go. I'll keep it short, but like it was literally, I'm in the middle of class, and like 2 hours had passed, and then I realized, oh fuck, I still have the jelly bean. And I was like, if anybody sees this, they're going to know I'm high. So then I tried to like sneak it. Like I tried to sneak up on myself and like eat the jelly bean all silently. Like they don't know.
How excited were you when that guy showed you candy?
Candy?
Yeah, the jelly beans.
I don't like toasted marshmallows.
You don't like jelly beans?
I love toast marshmallows.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, this fool likes all candy, so.
Yeah, I
like
got
jelly.
opinions on candy, but toasted marshmallows is
Is
like
that a
what
flavor of jelly bean? What the fuck?
Toasted marshmallow?
The
Jelly
Harry
Belly.
Potter one's got it.
Yeah.
And
Jelly Belly.
Jelly Belly.
Okay.
The ones that usually, they're always the ones behind those contests.
Yeah. I like how there's just one fly all
Yeah,
day
is that,
today.
is that the other guest?
Give it up for Fly. He's also been on Joe Rogan. He's actually been to the presidential debates. Yeah.
That fly is actually pretty famous.
So
what about-
podcast called Fly on the Wall?
Oh, isn't that a podcast? With
yeah. It's fucking a bunch of.
Oh, David Spade.
Yeah, Spade and this other guy.
So, anyways, go for it. What's your? I've been wanting to ask you, what's your first time ever smoking?
First
weed?
time I ever smoking weed was with my cousin Chris, and the way that started was we were at a party. He was a few years older than me, and it was like a not like a college party. These kids probably were out of college. I was like still in high school. It was one of those parties where I was like, oh, I shouldn't be here.
Yeah.
I'm clearly just like the cousin tagging along.
Yeah.
And then I remember the party got busted and someone hid weed in my jacket. So when the cops came and were kicking everyone out, I remember like my friend who's white had my jacket under his arm and he's like, I think someone put something in it. He's like, 'cause I found the jacket under the bed, not where we put our jackets originally.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh shit. So like the cop like searched me and then didn't search my white friend and was just like, God, he just waved. I was like, so we get in the car. My friend's like, I think there's something in Frank's jacket. And he opens it up and it's a fucking Ziploc bag full of weed.
Oh my
So I guess the
God.
guy was like selling weed at the party or whatever, but like it was a lot of weed. And I remember just looking at my cousin being like, what do we do? And he was like, we smoke it. And then we smoked it. And then I just remember laughing hysterically into a bowl of cereal. And then he showed me Killing Him Softly for the first time.
Oh shit, Dave
yeah.
Chappelle. First special, dude.
Yeah. And then
Oh,
that
I
shit.
thought he was talking about the Fuji song.
not the Brad Pitt movie? But
This
yeah.
was just crying to Lauryn Hill.
Which, by the way, I mean, yeah, I get it. Y'all never just cried to Lauryn Hill?
For reals, I love Lauryn Hill, dude.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, dude. Especially when she comes out in Dave Chappelle's block party, dude. I'm
Yeah,
just like,
man.
oh, okay, not today.
Yeah, it's so funny. There was a video of someone asking like, "Where you been?" She was like, "I've been a mom." She was like, "I was raising my child." And then you're like, "Oh yeah, you are one of those people who was like, oh, I'm gonna sacrifice and ruin all of my relationships with my kids to be a superstar."
Yeah. My first time smoking weed, dude, I did it out of an apple. But I was one of those guys that tried to act cool by like, I already smoked weed before, dude. Did you guys do that or no when you first smoked?
No.
No, you were honest?
Yeah, I was like, how do I do this?
Yeah. See, I was like, oh, apple? I've seen this trick before. You know what I mean? I never smoked weed though. I was like,
Bite it?
Don't mind if I do. You started eating.
yeah, oh, I know how to get high. They're like, "Dog, what?
These edibles are hidden, dude.
Yo, would that work? Can you eat the apple after?
Yeah.
People eat the apple
Yeah,
afterwards.
it's gross as fuck.
Yeah. It's just it's
Yeah.
like a party trick. It's like like putting fucking beer in your shoe. It's not enjoyable. It's just
No,
like
no,
something.
you're just the guy that drank beer out of his shoe.
yeah.
But there's one bitch who's like, I'm gonna fuck that guy.
That fool must have smelly breath.
He's adventurous.
Yeah.
She's like, why do I got athlete's foot in my throat?
What's it
you were
called? So, anyways, so my homie Tyler was like, "Hey, we're about to smoke some weed." But I'm like, "You already know me, dog. I smoke weed all the time." And then it was this girl that came over, Stephanie. Shout out Stephanie. I think she watches the podcast. She pulled out the apple. It was doing, the whole thing with the pencil. And then they put the weed in there, and I'm hitting it. And then Tyler's getting his dog high, which I don't condone that, right, guys?
Yeah, no, they don't
They
have
make
a choice.
CBD for dogs.
They do make CBD for dogs.
But don't get your dog high, aggressively high.
What if he's got arthritis?
What if he's got glaucoma?
Yeah, my dog's got really bad anxiety.
But I never got a dog high because the first time it happened, it was a little dude named Tyrone. I called him Tyrone. His name was like Blue or something, but I called the dog because I was stoned.
Okay.
Anyways,
That seems pretty telling.
You couldn't think of like Spot or Bingo.
Hey, Clarence.
well, you do things when you're high that you can't explain, right? So I just thought, I felt Tyrone and I was like, Tyrone. But anyway, so we're smoking. Tyler's getting the dog high. The dog starts running into Tyler's barbecue, just like head first, gah, 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 right? And I'm like, dude, I never want to get high again, fool. Like, what the fuck is this, right? And then we go inside, and I have my little laptop, and then Stephanie was like, you've never heard Stairway to Heaven? And I was like, what? What do you mean? Stairway to Heaven, dude, you never heard? So she puts it on my laptop. She goes Stairway to Heaven. She grabs my head and puts it into the laptop. Like, so if this is the laptop, my head's like right here, fool, right? And like the speakers, and I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing, And I didn't move the whole time. Like 7-minute song, food with my head in the laptop.
Yeah.
And then I get up and I'm like completely just like colorful fucking vision and everything. Yeah. And that was my first time smoking.
You turn around, the dog's setting up a noose to fucking kill himself. Like, whoa, this dog's way too high.
Yeah. That dog unfortunately like went into a coma. Like not that night, but like later.
Oh, okay.
Or like
I don't know why I'm laughing at this.
Irresponsive. But that's why I never got animals high, dude.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, dude. What's it called? You had a joke about that on my last podcast about getting your dog high.
Yeah. Your dog likes it.
They don't consent to it.
I had a friend whose dog was like, every time he would like pack a bowl and start to light it, his dog would walk over, sit next to him, and like sniff, and then like he would blow smoke into the dog's face, and the dog would be like, and then the dog would just go lay down. And obviously you shouldn't get your dogs high, but some dogs are down.
Yeah, some dogs are down, dude.
Damn, my dog's a fucking.
You're gonna get
dork.
a lot of hate mail after this. You're like, who is this fucking coconut?
What's it called? Have you ever had Mexican brickweed?
Yeah. When I went to Texas, it was the first time I had Mexican brickweed. And I remember they were like, yeah, we got weed. And they showed it to me. I was like, oh shit, this is it. This is Mexican brickweed. They're like, yeah, it's not that good. It's okay. And I remember smoking it. And then I remember kind of getting high.
Yeah.
You got to smoke a lot of it to get stoned. But I just remember looking at these guys. I was like, for the amount of people that died over this, you think it'd be better.
Yeah. No, for reals. I mean, yeah, it's crazy. First of all, it's brown from my experience.
It's brown.
The weed is brown. Have you guys ever had this?
No, I didn't know that there was a specification for.
So
Mexican
they call it brickweed because it's they compact it into literally like bricks,
right?
Yeah,
and then it gets shipped over and stuff, and it's usually like terrible weed.
Yeah, and
I've had it.
You have? It's called swag where I come from, or something like that, right?
We call it Schwex.
And since weed's become legal here and in America and everything is they're growing it a lot more. It's affected the drug market in Mexico when it comes to weed.
Yeah,
Right.
They're getting into avocados now.
They're getting into limes, dude.
Yeah.
It's
Limes.
surpassed avocados, dude. They're price gouging limes right now.
Dude, there's a fucking issue happening with limes all over this goddamn state, dude.
Man, the cartel got the control on all the agriculture. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, dude.
Makes us miss our lime tree. We had a lime tree growing up.
Oh shit.
I had a lime tree growing up. My mom would get so mad at people coming by and snagging a lime off the lime tree. She would fucking like chase them off.
Yeah. Well, we had it like way in the back where like nobody could reach it.
Also,
Some people have it like hanging over a fence or something. It's like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
The last 15 years, there was like a bee's nest in there. It was insane.
Lime bees.
What? Did they taste good?
The bees? I'm like,
Why did you bring up bees?
He's autistic.
Every time this fool's buzzing over your
I
dog.
think my wife's autistic.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
There's a test?
No, she did. She took
Is
4 of them.
Oh, really?
And she
I
was
like
like,
that you said that line wrong, and then you were like, there's a test.
Is there a test?
yeah. She took a bunch of tests and she was like, I think I'm autistic. And then we talked about it. And then she was like, explains a lot of shit with my childhood. And I was like, oh, okay. And I was like, all right. So she thinks she's like on the spectrum.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Damn, dude.
The whole time.
Does she like bees?
Question
She loves
one.
plants.
That's another. It's like bees, plants, and trains. Those are the big 3. I swear.
Well, she was saying with women, it's when they're young, it usually gets they get misdiagnosed because it's usually like anxiety or OCD is what they say, and then it isn't prevalent until they're much older. And
I think the average, like statistically, it's something like after 15 it's more likely. Whereas with boys, with white kids, it's like 2 to 7.
Yeah, because they're paying attention to
with
them.
minorities. With minorities, it's sometimes never, but sometimes it's like I was diagnosed at 14.
Yeah. No, I had an uncle that I remember being like, it was just always kind of weird. I'm like, what was up with him? And they're like, oh, he's just kind of weird. And then like a lunch later, they're like, oh yeah, he's autistic. And I was like, oh, you guys didn't just name him? You guys just put him in a room and just like, we're just like, he's never moving out. Yeah. I was like, it's wild.
That's like the thing too with people who are like, there's growing numbers of diagnoses. Like, and people are like, oh, they think it's made up because now more people had it than they, you didn't have these much diagnosis 100 years ago. And I was like, yeah. That's a problem.
Yeah.
They were still there. You just called them idiots and murdered them. Like,
Sorry, I didn't mean to laugh like that.
It's a dark day.
Yeah,
Like,
it was
I made that Kobe joke earlier. Oh,
Why'd you bring it up
bring
again?
it up, dude. Oh my god.
420.
420.
It's funny, it's like here, my wife being like, I think I'm autistic because it was like all the things that I was attracted to that I thought were like quirky, like like fucking Zoe Deschanel kind of shit.
Yeah,
and
Manic Pixie Dream Girls.
Exactly. Yeah. I thought I was getting Zoe Deschanel. It turns out I was getting Temple Grandin.
That's so funny. Like that was a huge thing last year. It was like on TikTok. I forget who was saying it, but they were like if you're into Manic Pixie Dream Girls, like you're just fetishizing autism, and it's creepy.
Oh, yeah.
Well, now we know.
Not that you're creepy. I
I don't know.
just met.
we just met. Oh my god.
You like bees?
You like bees? That's the icebreaker for Ryan.
That's how you pick up autistic women. You're like, you like bees?
Buzz.
Buzz.
What's your thoughts on dinosaurs? Anyways, sorry. What's it called? With anyways, weed. I don't know if weed has to do anything with autism. I'm not saying it.
You say that like there's so many topics where you're like, I don't know if this has to do with autism. It's like, no.
You're really fucking what's his name on Fox News about it. You know what I mean? You're like, I'm just asking questions.
We're just talking. You know what I mean?
No. There's a lot of weed and there's a lot of autism.
It's a spectrum. You don't know. You know.
That was originally I was gonna say, does she like cottage cheese because of my joke? But then the bees thing is more prevalent.
Oh yeah,
hilarious.
Yeah, his mom thought that one of his friends had autism because he liked cottage cheese so much.
I saw that. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's so fucking funny.
It's one of my big jokes.
Oh, sorry.
So my mom is one of those people who like doesn't believe. It took her a long time to like convince her about mental health stuff, and she finally got my siblings tested on some things, and she was like, yeah, she calls me. She goes, your brother's got the squirrelies. That's what she calls ADHD.
Yeah,
and
it's because we spin.
I
also have ADHD.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure my whole family does. But it's just it's just hilarious that she's just finally like, okay. And they were talking to her about how she thinks they're like, we're going to test for autism, blah, blah, blah. And she was like, well, what is like the symptoms, like not symptoms, but what are the things with autism? What? Because she doesn't know. And the doctor's describing it. And she goes, oh, I think my husband's autistic. And then it was like, well, what do you mean? She was like, well, he was describing all these things. And I was like, yeah, my husband does that. And I was like, is he really autistic? Or are you just attributing the shit he does to being like, yeah, he's autistic?
Dude, comics have been doing that lately. I wrote a joke about it. Where it's like, I feel like a lot of like woke comics are saying spectrum jokes a lot. Like my cousin or my neighbor's weird. I think they might be on the spectrum. And they also like in real life when they tell the story to me, they always started off like, this person fucking annoys the shit out of me.
Yeah.
And then they think about it like, actually, now that I think about it, it might be autism. And it's like, I feel like you just want to, the joke is, I feel like liberals just want to say retarded again.
Oh,
like they just want to bring that word back.
Yeah.
It never left.
It never left. So my cousins, My sister's disabled. She's born premature, and her boyfriend has Down syndrome. And I grew up with around a lot of kids with disabilities and stuff or whatever the fuck. And I was always just very like supportive and shit. But the thing that I realized is a lot of the people that complain about retard or just that word, those are never the parents, and they're never usually the people that are like calling kids with Down syndrome that. You know what I mean? It's always like regular people calling a regular person that. And it's never, you know what I mean? So it's just always so funny.
I've even had that. I tell my first ever heckler was just the host's mom. Because what happened was I was telling this story where I was going to ask this girl out, but she thought I was weird because I make robot sounds. And at the end of the joke, everyone's laughing and she stands up and goes, "Don't laugh. That's sad." And like completely, it's like, I don't know if you know what I'm doing here.
Yeah.
But that's on purpose.
Yeah. You're like, yeah. And we're all laughing at it. What the fuck? Yeah. It's ridiculous.
Do you like doing stand-up stoned?
I do like doing stand-up stoned. It's where I feel most comfortable. Then I remind myself to have fun. Because other times I'll like put a lot of dumb pressure on myself or like, just anxiety and shit. But
if you guys don't know, Frank is a very funny stand-up comedian. And there's one joke that I saw last time I saw you doing stand-up was about the guns.
Yes.
Mexicans and guns.
Yeah.
And it's so funny to me, dude.
Yeah. So I do this whole like mass shooting bit and about how like
okay, wait, I didn't know. Sorry.
Oh no,
I'm just kidding.
So yeah, I have the Mexican mass shooting bit, and then I have like another bit about school shootings. It's like a 5-minute bit on just school shootings and shit. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But the one I do is like I don't think there's ever going to be a Mexican mass shooter, and I like saying that because it's like I look at all the mass shooting shit. It's mostly white guys. It's predominantly white guys, and then some people are like, they're like, a mass shooting's more than 5 or 6 people. It's like, yeah, gang shootings are different. You know what I mean? It's like the intention. Whereas like one guy like trying to kill a bunch of people. Anyways, so I said like there'll never be a Mexican mass shooter because a Mexican guy would have to work 3 jobs just to save up for one of those guns because it costs a lot of money to kill a lot of people very quickly.
Yeah.
And some would say it's a privilege. And I was like, and even if there was a Mexican mass shooter, no one would get hit because Mexicans shoot like this. And it's so silly and ridiculous because the first part is so heavy-handed.
Yeah.
And like I studied. I was just like, I looked at like, I can't remember which guy it was. One of the dudes that did like a mass shooting. I remember I looked up his whole gear list. So I looked up how much it cost for the vest, how much the assault rifle costs, the fucking guns, the bump, all that shit, like his whole arsenal. Cause they listed everything that he had on him. And I was like, oh, that's like at least 25, 30 grand. You know what I mean? And it's saved up over time. But I was just like, I thought about it. I was like, if I were to save up money and to try to like kill a bunch of people, I was like, realistically, financially, the only things that I'm available to get like right now is probably like a handgun and maybe something with like a lot of bullets, but nothing compared to what that guy's packing.
Oh yeah.
And it was almost just like, man, it's crazy how like, society, like even if you're trying to kill a bunch of people, you don't have enough money to do that.
Yeah, nobody's talking about the credit scores of these fucking white shooters, dude.
Yeah, that's why it's like. No, I was gonna freeze on purpose.
Yeah, a Mexican guy with his dad's gun is just like a 6-shooter revolver.
But it was great because every time you would do that joke, people would post Instagram stories of you just like just like doing the gun bit.
Yeah,
that shit's hilarious, dude.
Yeah, it's fun too, and I like doing it in front of white people. I love doing it in front of because they're always just like, and then they get like, and then I do that bit, and then it's silly, and they laugh. Yeah, man. I love
They laugh at the Mexican part.
Yeah, because it's the tension. And then I even say it. I was like, you guys are a little culturally fucking weird. You know what I mean? I was like, you guys laughed at that part? Oh, okay. Yeah. I was like, that's telling on you. Yeah.
Would you say you have more jokes about being Mexican or about weed?
Definitely more about being Mexican. I've had comics come to me like, you say Mexican a lot. And I was like,
it is all
right,
Yeah, dude.
I don't understand this thing of like why people care.
Yeah.
Like why? Like I was watching a documentary about Greg Giraldo, and they talk. What's his name? That's his name. Yeah. So they talk about. I learned like in the thing that he's half Mexican or something. Yeah. And Jeff Ross was like, he didn't take the easy way. He didn't talk. He could have just talked about how he was Mexican, but he wrote real jokes.
That's crazy.
And I was like, what? Why can't?
Yeah, it's very. I think a lot of it is because it's like definitely dominated by white people or Americans that are assimilated, I guess. Whereas like me, it's like I was forced into assimilation. We were all pretty much forced into assimilation. Like my grandfather was probably like the only one that I knew in my whole family that was like, fuck that shit. Mexico to the day I die. Fucking flag up.
Yeah.
All that shit. Like,
Let's go.
he's like, I ain't speaking fucking English. Like everyone can eat a dick. Like that kind of guy. He was my favorite. Right. Also a raging alcoholic. But it's also like, I don't know. For me, I've always struggled with like my older cousins always being like, you're not that Mexican because you don't speak Spanish. I've always had that because I've had like a very Hispanic side of the family and then a very like American side of the family.
Right.
So like when I do stand up, I'm always just like, I like reminding people that I am what I am because most people can't tell what I am. And then like most Mexicans, like when I'm reminding them that I am them, it's kind of a cool thing where I feel like they identify with it. We're like, oh, I see myself in that guy.
Yeah.
It's like, that's what I want, you know?
Yeah.
I'm not doing this to tell other white people that I'm Mexican. I'm doing this to tell other Mexicans that I'm Mexican.
Yeah.
And then it can like, you know, look where I'm at. You know what I mean? Kind of shit.
You could do this too.
Yeah. Because the first one that I saw was fucking like George Lopez and shit. You know what I mean? And that was like generations ago.
Yeah, no. And also there's a weird thing about George Lopez where it's like, I love him. I love his comedy, but also just like still feeling like an outsider of like your culture because it's like, oh, I'm not that kind of Mexican.
Of course. Yeah. And that's 100% what I think it is.
Yeah, dude. It's crazy. No, I liked what you said right now. That's why I was thinking about it. Sorry.
I remember what I was going to say. I have a gun joke.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, like, I don't think there'll ever be an autistic man shooter because he spends too much time counting the bullets. No, I don't know.
I like how he's. That's hilarious.
This is what happened when weed meets autism.
Yeah, exactly. I like how he's still coughing too.
Is it still autistic month?
Yeah, April.
I mean, it's
the month where everyone's autistic.
420.
Autistic Awareness Month? Yeah.
AAM. So
funny.
No, I had this joke because I got in an argument with a dude on Facebook once.
Of course.
And it was like, I never understood the people that pretend that they need these like high caliber, rapid fire scatter shot rifles. And I said that, I was like, that's like if the president banned Yeezys and you were like, fuck, they're not letting us have shoes anymore. It's like, no, you just can't have this really expensive, unnecessary shoe.
Which I 100% agree.
And some dude was like, no, I need my rifle for hunting. And I'm like, if you need a scope and scatter rifle, you're a bad hunter. And he was like, I can't think of any animal where you require that level of gun. And he's like, well, you never shot what's the prairie dogs in your backyard?
Who's shooting prairie dogs?
Yeah, I was like, no, because I'm not fucking Sid from Toy Story.
It's fucking like, yeah. Although I'm not gonna lie, I did see a video of a guy shooting a 50 caliber at a deer.
Oh my god!
And I remember being like, "Oh, that's so unnecessary." I'm gonna watch the shit out of this video. And let me tell you, that dude missed, but that dude still killed that deer. He fucking it missed the deer.
He shot like a tree and it fell down from the feather.
No, dude, it missed the deer. He missed it and the bullet went past its head, but it was going so fast and the caliber was so large that the vacuum created behind the bullet sucked the fucking deer's eyes out.
Oh my god! Why does Ryan look so hard?
Yeah, I was like, that is crazy, but do it again. I gotta see it again.
Oh my god! What were you gonna say?
I don't know anymore, dude.
That's bonkers.
Yeah,
So like guns are cool, but you don't need all of them.
No, 100%. You don't need that. But I definitely would be the guy to be like, all right, I got my tank. Let's fucking go get some deer.
Anyways, so
Latinos in comedy.
I know we were like, yeah, man, I like to remind people who I am, where I come from, blah, blah, blah. Yo, 50 cal with a deer.
Mexicans love that shit, dude.
yeah. No, I really don't like guns. I have a really, really bad fear of guns, dude.
Really?
Oh, yeah. It's strange. I'm not choosing to be this way. You know what I mean?
Did someone pull a gun out on you?
The first time I got pulled over by a cop, the guy pulled a gun on me.
Really? Why?
Yeah. So I ran a stop sign that wasn't there, by the way. It's like a 3-way stop, and I was coming from the main road into like a shopping center, and there was no stop sign there, so I just made the right. And then the cop lit me up and then pulled me over. And I was 16 years old, so I didn't know to turn off my engine. So my engine was just on, and Sergeant Olivo came over and had a gun on me, dude. And was just like, he's like, turn off the engine. And I was like, what the fuck? And I started crying. Yeah.
Oh, what did he do?
No, he just said, I was crying and I was like, there's not even a stop sign. And then I got out of the car to look and I was like, okay, I guess there's 3 stop signs right there, but there wasn't a one where I was coming from.
Right.
And he gave me the ticket. And I'm bawling. I'm like, not my best moment, right? And then he goes, this is when you become a man.
And then he shot you in the leg. Fucking pussy.
That's hilarious. No, that was the only encounter I had with a gun. I'm pretty sure. I don't know if I blocked another one out, but I was at my friend Matt's house one time, and his dad's a Marine, right? And I went upstairs to go find Matt, and they were in his dad's room, and his dad just opened, as I was walking in, he opened his rifle case thing, and it was like one of those like soft cases with a bunch of rifles on them, and he laid him out on the bed, and he was starting to pull them out and like play with them, and I just left his house, dude. I was like, nope, I'm not gonna be here, foo. That's it. I don't know what. And
You're like, this is how shit happens.
Exactly, dude.
Which, I'm not going to go into details, but that's happened to someone I know before, and they're no longer with us.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. No, not. And I don't think it's anyone. It's back home from where I'm from, but they were like fucking around.
I know a comedian accidentally got shot in the head with a shotgun before from like chilling with homies smoking weed. Yeah, and like Ryan is laughing way too much for all this stuff.
The way he was like gyrating.
Anyways, but
that reminds me of a fucked up video that I saw recently. I don't know if I want to tell this. This is like
tell the exact same story.
It was a deer.
I might say this for off the podcast. You ever see like a video? You ever go down a Reddit hole and like see like I don't.
Yes.
Like I think we were all teenagers when the internet came out, and you guys remember like Live Leak and fucking the Pain Olympics, all that shit. You see like some shit where you're like, oh okay, I'm 13, but I just turned 32 because when I just like the first time you see a journalist's heads get cut off, you're like, whoa, the world is a scary place.
I downloaded that from BearShare, dude.
Yeah. You're like, whoa, I am now a man. Gerardo's crying in the back behind the journalist.
No, dude, that shit. Fuck that. Machetes, I'm scared of too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. No, I got some weird ancestral fear inside of me, dude. My blood is boiling with fear sometimes, dude. Especially with guns.
Nothing.
Oh, sorry. Should I tell the video that I saw?
Yeah, go for it.
I mean, if it's bad, you can cut it out.
Yeah.
So, hey Dominic.
Yeah.
Did we end up cutting that part?
Yeah, it was pretty bad, dude. I was not expecting. That was bad.
Ryan. Did we cut that part?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, it was a bad story.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Oh my god. That is bonkers, dude.
Well, this is.
I might cut that part out. So if you see us laughing,
that's I was like. I was trying not to laugh before the story, but I'm just imagining like suddenly in the episode, it's gonna just be like stand by.
Yeah. You know how that one Nick Swartzen joke where if he's telling a story and it's not going well, he just says everyone dies at the end. You literally just did that, but that was the story.
Yeah, the story is everyone dies. Yeah.
Do you want to load another one or no?
Oh yeah, absolutely. You want?
Because I want to ask a question. I want you guys to be stoned though.
Have you ever looked at it? Sweet questions.
Yeah.
You ever looked at a $20 bill?
Do you ever fold it?
I was gonna say, have you ever folded a Here's the $5 bill, and you see how there's 2 towers, and then you take the 20.
Wouldn't thought of that. It feels weird that's on the bill. Like you fold it.
You're good.
Like it sounds. You know what I mean? Do you remember like when you first heard that if you fold the bills, they make images?
Yeah.
That always sounds so fun and trivial. And then they're like, yeah. And then you could see the World Trade Center burning.
Yeah.
It's like, the fuck?
Yeah.
Why would I want to make that happen?
Yeah. You know, if you fold the $20 bill, you get 2 towers. And if you fold the $1 bill into a paper airplane, you could hit the 2 towers. Think about it, fool.
Think about it.
I'm just saying that.
So that's the funny thing is because the higher the bill, the more the fucking building is burning down. And then I think if you get to a 50, you fold it, and it's like when they were building the first towers. I'm like,
There were so many. There were so many.
If you fold $100 bill, it's just Bush going like this.
It's Dick Cheney cashing checks.
Dick Cheney shot a guy.
Yeah, that's crazy. This fool's addicted to guns, dude.
There were so many like conspiracies around that. Do you remember like Wingdings, the Wingdings thing, where like
Oh, the font?
yeah, the font where you would put 9/11 and it would be like a skull and two Star of David, like.
Oh my god.
And then there was like one where I forgot what you typed out, but it was like the airplane and two buildings. And
yeah.
Wingdings
wanna hit that?
97. I'll take a little bit.
Oh shit, Dominic's going in. Shout out Eddie Bravo, going deep, dude.
You know he's Mexican too, right?
Yeah, Eddie Bravo's like he's one of the sacred cows to
that's
get
what,
on here.
literally,
Dude.
like when we first heard the name, I said, "The fuck is that?"
Eddie Bravo.
What?
Yeah. No, he made sure to tell us he's not that Eddie Bravo.
That sounds like something Eddie Bravo would do.
Yeah, right.
Oh, that's a wrestler, right?
No, he's he's a jiu-jitsu.
He's one of the first people to beat a Gracie in a tournament.
Yeah.
So like when it happened, it was a huge deal, but it got no coverage.
Yeah.
But it was like one of the first fucking Mexican guys to beat a world-renowned wrestling family.
Crazy.
Who are the Gracies?
The Gracies invented Brazilian jiu-jitsu, right?
Yeah, pretty much. They're big They're I can't remember the exact history of it, and I don't want to fuck it up, but I know I think it originated in Japan, and then it was brought over to Brazil, and then they really turned it into what it is now.
Yeah.
Did you know?
Maybe. I feel like a lot of people on TikTok are gonna fucking armbar the shit out of me.
Yeah.
Did you know that the grandpa from Modern Family is a black belt in jiu-jitsu?
Yeah, I believe that.
Oh yeah, what's his name?
He doesn't know, but he believes
Here's
it.
the thing: is a lot of people are like, yeah, he was in that boxing movie. He knows how to fight. He learned that 3 seasons into Modern Family,
Yeah, man.
and then became a black belt.
You
It's
know,
bonkers.
before he died, what was the guy who ate everywhere and was a journalist?
Anthony Bourdain.
He became, I think, a purple belt.
Yeah.
Do you know
In his 50s.
who got him into jiu-jitsu?
His wife, right?
Ashton Kutcher.
Oh, yeah.
What?
That story is so weird
Jesus
to me.
Christ. I like how
does
the
he
two
know
guys
Ashton
smoking
Kutcher?
weed are like in this random conversation.
Either he got,
Did you know Ashton Kutcher was in a TV show called That 70s Show?
he
dude?
got so stoned, he's like, I don't want to say regular now, but that's disrespectful. But you know what I mean? Or I got so high that like we are now on the same frequency.
Smoking that Einstein.
Waka waka. Okay, so we kind of touched on it a little bit here. What do you want to say?
No, it's just.
I have a gun.
Ethan popped out.
He was like, you
Martin.
wrestlers, I got a gun.
420. So I wanted to ask about. Yeah, go for it. I wanted to ask about. Are you guys? Because what's the one thing that goes with weed conversationally?
I was gonna say
food?
cookies.
No, conspiracies, right?
Oh, yeah.
What's your biggest conspiracy theory? And if you can make it Mexican, go for it.
If I can't make it Mexican,
If you can, I said.
Oh. I mean, I guess this is less a conspiracy theory and
More
more of
fact.
like just, as a fact, is like, you remember how they, like, for a long time, people thought like the pyramids of Giza and like the Aztec pyramids were like made by aliens.
Yeah.
Right.
So I had read how that all of that was propaganda started in like World War II by like the Nazis and stuff, because it was just like to discredit that people from these cultures were smart enough to pull something like that off.
Right.
Yeah, where it was just kind of like, yeah, of course. Like I think the pyramids of Giza, all that, like of course those got built by fucking humans.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And because they were doing the same shit in fucking our part of the world. So it's like it's not hard to build a crazy structure like that.
yeah, me and Doc used to have like a collective bit about that. How like, the Dark Ages was only dark for white people. Like that was the most innovative time for all the other people. The number 0 was invented. Toilet paper was invented. Fucking aqueducts.
And they're like, nope, nothing happened.
They're like the kid losing at basketball, so he takes his ball home. Like if I can't play, nobody can play.
Yeah, they're still shitting in the same river.
I like how we do 2 hits of weed and this becomes Jumper's joke. No way.
I have a theory, Doc.
The
Pyramids.
so dumb.
But how cool would it be if we found out that Mexicans were actually real aliens? Like we actually did just come from another planet.
There's a
seems racist.
comic out that's the premise is we descend from Aztecs and they're like space adventures.
Primos?
I had
Primos.
Yeah.
That's
so
the,
I always wanted to write like a show where it was like, because that is, you know what I mean? Because people were just like, that does sound racist. Like, but that would also just be really funny. Because people were just like, they're aliens. And it was like, yeah, man, what if we were like, came from a high tech fucking civilization
Yeah.
from another planet? Like, that would be hysterical.
Yeah.
that's just reminding me of that stupid Rick and Morty bit. It's like a Spanish
A Spanish Armada? Yeah.
from space. Fucking sombrero.
Sombrero spaceship.
What about you, Dominic? Number one conspiracy theory.
Oh man, I don't have. I'm still thinking.
All right. Well, Ryan, I know you probably have one locked and loaded, right?
There's
Bees.
mountain full of cheese
Really?
in America. It's not a conspiracy thing. It's just a fact I like sharing because it's bonkers. That's where government cheese comes from, is a mountain.
What?
Oh, wait. I haven't told you. Okay. So
It was like the first time we met.
during the great, some of this I might be misremembering because I learned this like 6 years ago. But supposedly during the Great Depression, one of the industries to suffer big was the dairy industry. They had like an excess of product that they couldn't get rid of, so the government bought all of the cheese, and they didn't have anywhere to keep it, so they commissioned this old like rundown mine that nobody owned. They bought the land and kept it in there. So there was a little mountain, a literal mountain full of cheese for like 100 years. And then in the 80s, like during the poverty crisis, that's where government cheese came from, was they would take this cheese and process it so they can mass produce it to poor people. And that's like why it tastes funny.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
I didn't know government cheese was an actual cheese.
No, well, it's the government cheese, Doc.
The government would mail you cheese.
In the mail?
Yeah, or
Yes.
you could go pick it up.
Or you could go pick it up.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Oh.
I like that that's what you're hung up on. Cheese is real.
Like government cheese. And like, I'm assuming it's old if it's been in a
Yeah, man.
mine.
Did you see how they fucking sent us those COVID tests? It was like that, but with cheese.
you remember the original Netflix? It was like that, but
with cheese.
it was cheese.
You're like, oh, I only got the first slice of cheese. I need this other slice.
I need the other 6 slices. You gotta do it in this order: 3rd cheese, then the first cheese, then you work back to the 6th cheese.
Damn,
This
dude.
cheese is all scratched up.
Do you have one yet?
I mean, there's like a fact or like it's more of a theory because I don't remember what city it was.
Yeah.
But there's like, we're all familiar with redlining.
Oh,
like
yes.
keeping people out. Like the extent that it went
Redlining?
to. Redlining.
Redlining.
Redlining is the thing. That's when they go get bread.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
You
for
said
poor people.
redlining.
Redlining.
So what is redlining?
Redlining is like white people essentially keeping black and brown people out of their neighborhoods.
Oh, America?
Yeah. But they would do stuff where, like, if you lived on this side of the line, you didn't qualify for loans. Like, it was written into leases and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, you can't sell this. If you buy this house, you can't sell it to Jews, blacks, or Asians. Like,
Yeah,
that shit was written.
affected realty, finance, and like a third business.
And then that's where, like, the quality of schools, because it's schools are funded through your property taxes.
Yeah.
But anyways, to the extent that it was, like, done was crazy, because I heard this thing where, like, cities would create tunnels that were 1 inch too low for buses to pass through.
Wow.
So that way, like, black people couldn't get into their neighborhoods.
Hilarious.
Crazy.
That makes sense. Like if you ever drive through Beverly Hills, you'll notice there's only like one bus line that goes through.
Yeah.
And it's Sunset, and it's only like 4 stops, and every stop is like always like full of maids.
Yeah.
Wow. The 2?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why people don't trust the census. Like that shit's still happening.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Oh, you want me to give you all my information so you can fuck me in school? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
When I lived in San Jose, I was in Salonica Elementary, and then I was going to go to their middle school. So I would have ended up in like James Lake or Piedmont, or James Lake or Mount Pleasant, which Eastside San Jose aren't traditionally the best schools. And then I remember my parents moved me to Piedmont Hills, which is in Milpitas, and that is usually a little higher and more accredited. And then when I moved from there to Temecula, I got to go to like the nice new school that they had just built, and it was half of the population of the other high schools in this small town, and it was like state of the art. The whole building was designed to where like if they had a mass shooting, you couldn't see one end of the school directly through to the other. There was always like a pillar or something. So it was like one of those things like, I remember how these pillars were so big that you could hide like 3 people behind. Yeah. So it was designed to like, if somebody come in, try to fucking shoot people, you were pretty good. All the doors locked. It was insane to see how much money they poured into the school. And I just remember being there and like, it was a fast track to colleges. Yeah, everyone could take AP courses and shit. I remember I got there and they're like, we don't have Fs in this class. It's only, I think it was like, no, it was failing Cs, Bs, and As. And it was just like it was crazy to see how they did it. And I could tell how different it was growing up in East Side San Jose compared to like this white suburb where I was like one of 5 Mexicans. And I was like, this is insane.
That reminded me, we had a roommate who like grew up in like he lived in the same town that we did for a short while, but he went to a private school. So we would tell him things like bags of milk, and he'd never fucking heard of that before.
Yeah.
Pouches of milk.
Yeah.
I remember at my school, we did have pouches of milk, but it was not a bad school. And because your joke is about how like that's how you know you're at a poor school is if it's a pouch of milk. And they had a whole assembly on how to fucking use the straw to open the fucking pouch, dude.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
Sounds like a basket.
But yeah, they like each gave us one, and we're like, "Oh, chocolate milk," you know what I mean? And then they were like, "Hold your thumb on the straw and poke it." But you know, like as soon as they say poke it, everyone's like squirting fucking milk everywhere.
Yeah, they never tell you like when you release that the pressure's gonna like shoot you in the face.
That school, I was telling someone else about this. Do you ever hear of every 15 minutes? Do you guys have that? No.
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 Every 15 minutes was a drunk driving program that they would do at schools, and it was basically like almost like how do I put it? It was like an event. So like they would pick 5 of the most popular people from school. They would put them in a separate hotel away from everybody, and they would come back to school, and it was like they died in a drunk driving accident. So like they eventually get picked, and then they stage the accident, and you go out in the front of the school, and it's literally like 5 cars that they faked as an accident. The ambulance comes, the police comes. They had a helicopter come and fly someone out. They had to stay in a hospital for like a weekend, and their parents came. So then like the people that died in the accident had to come back to school, and they were all in black and just like they had to be ghosts who weren't allowed to talk to them. So it was supposed to like symbolize what it is to like lose someone and shit. It was fucking wild. I remember looking at this and be like, y'all have way too much money. Yeah. This is a real helicopter that they flew in here. This is insane.
Yeah.
Because in San Jose at Eastside, their thing was a girl died in an actual drunk driving accident. Like we just lost a chick. Like she died in an accident, and they were like, "Don't drunk drive, everybody."
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I feel like that was a thing that they had at my school too. But I just didn't pay attention.
As you're explaining.
We had a cholo that slowly turned into a businessman.
Oh,
And all he did was
Mr.
button his shirt and tuck it in.
Yeah, there's a guy that I know from, it was so funny because from East Side San Jose, it's like there's gangs and stuff. So you see people like that, right? Yeah. And when I went to Temecula, there was like one other Mexican guy was like, just like hard as fuck. And I was like, bro, where are you from? Like, I was like, what are you doing? Like, I know this, like, I'm the only other Mexican guy you've met, and I am not like this. And it's insane to me. And I just remember like always looking at him weird. Then he joined the military, and then he came back, and he's just like,
oh yeah. I was like, oh my God.
This sounds like the plot of Blood In, Blood Out.
Yeah. Benjamin, what's his name? Brat right now?
Yep.
Yeah. What's it called? I don't know about my favorite conspiracy.
I forgot the prompt.
Yeah. No, I love talking conspiracies though, dude. I love listening to fucking Sam Tripoli.
Yeah, his shit's fun.
Tinfoil hat, crazy. I met that fool the other night.
Yeah.
He didn't care for much for me, but
Frank's like, I know
you were me and shit.
Yeah.
Man, Frank got fat.
Frank, I like what you're doing with your hair, dude.
All right, this is a fun podcast, guys.
It's called Bald Isimo. We just hit you with it. It's so fucked up. Just kidding. Oh, sorry. You called me fat.
I know. You called me fat.
I feel bad, but you called me fat.
I just remember a funny story.
What?
Wait, what were you saying?
Go for it.
It was the first time I had an edible.
Go for it.
Dominic had like pregame, like he bought a bunch of different ones to take this festival.
Allegedly.
And he left one of the bags home. And I just thought it was a gummy bear. So I ate it and I was like, this gummy bear tastes gross. And I was like, oh. And then later on, I was just like laying down on my bedroom floor, just staring at the ceiling. And out of nowhere, everything starts shaking. And this was after the dab incident. So I was like, fuck, is this what going to be like every time I get high?
Yeah.
This is fucking bullshit, dude. I'm not having fun at all. And then I was home alone. And so they asked someone to check up on me because I hadn't like checked in with anyone. I didn't have my phone on me because I was out of it. And so my brother's girlfriend at the time enters the house and she's like, hey, are you okay right now? And I was like, yeah, well, I was like, fuck, she knows. And she's like, well, there was just a massive earthquake.
There's nothing worse than being high and an earthquake happening.
And I was like, oh, okay. I didn't know how to react. Like, oh shit, that was real.
Yeah, because yeah, absolutely. When I get too high on edibles, it always happens. Like, I feel so bad for my wife because I'll like wake her up and be like, I'm really, really high and I'm freaking out. And she'll just be like, oh, God damn it. And she'll like rub my head and be like, everything's going to be fine. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then I'm like, oh, okay, I'm good. I don't know what that was. And she's like, do you really have to wake me up for that? And I was like, yes.
Actually, yes.
Yeah.
That was my favorite part about one of the original points of the joke about me trying wax for the first time was I thought I'd be okay because like, well, what are the things people complain about when they get high? You get anxious. I already do that anyway. I have OCD. It's like you get spacey. I was like, I have ADHD. You get hungry. I'm like, I'm fat. Like, what is weed gonna do to me that I don't already do to myself?
Yeah.
And then I had vertigo for 3 hours. So it was like
You're
fucking.
oh, that's new.
Weed has ideas.
Weed's got ideas.
You ever blow your nose so hard you get vertigo?
No, but I did sneeze one time so hard that a filling came out.
Whoa! I sneezed so hard I threw my back out once.
That happened to me. Yeah.
And you feel like a fat piece of shit.
Yeah, you're like,
Oh, I was there. It was for the podcast, right?
One of those that happened once there, but I think I was fine. But there's times where like it's happened, and I've like on the ground, like I can't get up for like 10 minutes. Yeah.
I remember I'm sorry to interject. One time I sneezed so hard that my back came out, and as I fell to the floor, like the force also made me fart. I can't remember if it was like you or Diego or my dad, but someone was near me, and all I heard was me going like, "Achoo, fuck!"
Your body just starts giving out. You're like, no.
How old were you? He's like 17.
This was probably like 2 years ago.
Yeah. What's it called? Have you ever done something super embarrassing while high?
Yeah.
It's like,
We just said.
Yeah.
it's like part of the recipe.
I've thrown
right?
up and shit myself at the same time. I fucked up and I got crossfaded. I went out with my coworkers and we were at Buffalo Wild Wings. I ate a bunch of wings, so I was super high. And then we went back to my coworker's house and we smoked more, and then we ate a bunch. And then I had these dill pickles, and then we started having a few beers, and I just remember getting a little buzzed. But by the time I got back home, I was just kind of like, I was way too fucked up than I wanted to be. And I passed out, and then I remember waking up being like, I have to get to the restroom.
Yeah.
And I remember just sitting down, and it was ungodly what I did. It was bad. And then I remember that just happening, and then all of a sudden being like, and then like, not being able to, I should have just did this, like, you know, but I just remember like going and I started throwing up and it hit the wall, but I wasn't finished shitting. So I had to finally, I had to like clench, stop, and then like rotate down. But as I was rotating, it was just like wall, bathroom, shower curtain, toilet. And then finally it all stopped. And then I just remember like not even cleaning it up and just going to bed. And my roommate's waking up being like, what the fuck happened in your bathroom? And I'm like, I'm sorry.
Take it away, Dominic.
Well, I used to host a lot of parties when I was like in my early 20s, and so we had people over, and somebody got like so drunk they vomited on the floor. They broke the fucking lid to the toilet. I don't know what they were trying to do, but they knocked it off.
Yeah.
Threw up on the floor, and then we found out about it because they left just a stack of napkins on top of the vomit. So like vomit and then a neat pile of napkins, like delicately placed.
Like that time that Gerardo put the peppers back, just like, no, thank you.
Yeah. That's on our Patreon, I think, the story.
You don't like peppers?
No, there was this fucking asshole at Costco that was making pizzas one day, and we ordered the pizza, and I went to the window to be like, hey, Gerardo, he's like, yeah, when the pizza's ready, I'll call your name, it'll be right here, and you'll get your pizza, okay? And I was like, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to be an asshole, or whatever I said. I forget what I said.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to be, I'm sorry for asking, basically. He's like, when it's ready, I'm going to call your name. He said the same thing over again, right?
Yeah.
He was just being an asshole. And then I was like, all right, he's having a tough day, And then this like person that doesn't speak English came by and was like, is this pizza ready? And he was like, no, not yet. I'll be ready for. I was like, oh, this fucking guy hates me, dude. Right?
To be fair, he like right before that he was having the worst fucking time because someone wasn't picking up the pizza, and he was like, Andy, Andre, Andre. And Andrea, and then he's like, fucking Jesse.
Jesse, yeah. He couldn't get the name right, and me and Ryan were laughing because we were like, what's the name, dog?
Yo, at that point, you would have hit him like, oh, sorry, dog, my bad. And it was like, learn to read.
Or learn to write. I don't know who wrote the name.
But what happened was...
So then he finally calls my name with the pizza,
right,
and he grabs an aggressive amount of cheese, which I appreciate,
packets.
Right? Cheese packets, and then he grabs the same amount of peppers. And I'm sitting here thinking like, dog, nobody uses that many peppers. You know what I mean? I'm gonna tell corporate about this shit. But I just grabbed the peppers and I left it and took all the pizza. Yeah.
But it was like all one fluid motion. Like he hands us the pizza with the peppers on the top, and Gerardo with that thing, he just goes, no, thank you.
Yeah.
And right before that, I was like, hell yeah, they gave us a shit ton of chili flakes.
Hey, you're the only one suffering.
Dude, we still had a shit ton of pepper after I gave him back some.
Yeah.
Anyways, don't do that.
I moved them out.
He aggressively cracks his neck. Do you crack your neck?
I used to be able to. I don't do it anymore. I wish I could.
Jesus Christ. There's a whole Patreon episode called Knuckle Popper, dude. Because these fools went on a rampage of popping everything they have.
I'm going on a rampage. I have to be comfortable. Like I'm fucking stiff, dude.
You gotta release the fluids, dog.
Yeah.
There's this thing they do that bugs the shit out of me. You guys stop doing it, though. Oh my God. You guys stop doing it.
I'm not going to do it right now. You're going to bring it up.
What is it?
And Frank's going to be like, I want to see him do this.
Ryan's getting ready. Look at him. So they fucking pop their ears, dude.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Have you ever? Oh, don't do it. Because when you pop, you can't stop, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know how.
And then
I could do this.
Yeah, see that one is my shit, dude. I love doing that. Pop.
Yeah.
Damn, dude, it feels so good.
Wait, so why are some pops not equal to other pops?
That's the best pop. Like I fantasize about that pop.
Well, this is good, but the back pop's the best.
Oh yeah, true. But you need like two people to do that sometimes.
I went down a TikTok rabbit hole and it was like how to like self do shit. Yeah, and there's one like against the wall you could do that'll pop this shit.
So what the thing is like they did it one day. Tell me if I'm wrong. You popped your ears one day. You felt relief.
Yeah.
So you needed to get that relief a lot more, right?
Well, now you just like feel the tension all the time. Before it was like a thing where it's like, you know, when like the refrigerator motor turns off and you're like, oh shit, it was on, like, and then all of a sudden it's super quiet. Now when it turns back on, like you hear it, like that's how it feels like when I pop my ear. It's like relief, but like constantly I could feel the tension around my ears.
So it's gotten to the point now where in order to pop their ears, they need to get some sort of friction and grip. So they use a paper towel to grab onto the ear to pop that shit. And it's the gnarliest thing I've ever seen, dude.
Wait, why is it gnarly?
It sounds so loud. And
it's always like right before the podcast, and he's the only one with headphones at that point because he's mic checking. So it's always like,
yeah, it's like, but his headphones is like, grah.
It's pretty aggressive.
It's pretty loud.
Yeah.
I'm just glad I don't have to crack my neck. My neck cracks like very loudly.
Oh yeah.
Do it because my dad used to come up to me when I was a kid and do it, and so now it's just developed that way.
I wish I could crack my neck hella loud because I would do that before I had sex every time. just it's like, whoa.
Y'all ready for this?
Dude, my favorite bit, because all of my brothers, including myself, are double jointed, so I'd crack my thumb and then be like, ah!
Can you do any crazy double jointed stuff?
Just this.
Oh,
I
okay.
don't know if you could see my thumb bends back.
Dude, I saw a video the other day of some girl grabbing a glass of
backwards?
backwards, dude.
It's insane.
What the fuck?
Imagine
dude?
if that was your dick. I got a backhand you.
Is there anything else you guys want to say? It's 420.
Back at the prep.
We're 2 weeks away from our year, dude.
Yeah.
And if you want to celebrate with us, you can come May 23rd to our fucking live show, dude, at the Resident in downtown LA. Have you ever been there?
Nice. Yeah, I have.
Yeah, is it a nice venue?
Yeah, it's nice.
Hey, come see it for yourself, huh?
Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
I thought Ryan was meditating right now. What was the...
I'm stretching.
Oh, okay. And if you want to see Ryan stretch live, you can come Monday, May 23rd to the Resident, downtown LA, right?
Yep. Links in the description.
Links in the Linktree bio thing, right? Linktree, first thing, the live show, year
I think you
anniversary.
should put the link directly in the thing.
Oh, yeah, that too. I'll put the link directly in the actual thing.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for coming, Frank, dude.
Dude, my pleasure. This was a lot of fun. This shit flew by.
Yeah, I know. I looked and it was like 40 minutes. I was like, what the fuck? You know how that feeling is. But Ryan, if they made it this far, what should they comment below, dude? Your favorite conspiracy?
Yes.
What's your favorite edible?
Yeah, what's your favorite munchies?
Okay, munchies, edibles. Speaking of which, we should have a Ryan Snack Corner coming out pretty soon.
Speaking of which, edibles taste gross. I don't get why people like the taste of weed.
Ryan, they don't.
It tastes like socks.
I'll agree with you on that. There's certain edibles that now are just they don't taste like weed at all, and those are the ones I'm all about. If it tastes too much like weed, I get it. It grosses me out.
Yeah.
Like I'd rather just get high and then eat cookies.
Yeah. They have like drinks and shit. Cookies, I always thought it was weird. Chocolates, like, all right. Gummies, I think is where it's at, but too much sugar, it's crazy.
Someone put it in Rice Krispies. I'm like, that's the driest fucking thing I've ever heard.
They have chips now.
Hot Cheetos.
Hot
Yeah.
Cheetos?
One guy,
10 milligram chips are
he
100
like
too. Yeah.
brewed it like tea and then figured out how to gelatize it, and he crumpled it up and put it in a bag of craisins and just walked into school eating them.
Oh, damn, that guy's a genius. He probably owns a business by now, or he should.
He got arrested.
Did you guys,
But for other stuff, he was also just not a good person.
I forgot to bring up one thing, actually.
Oh, go ahead.
There's a story when we were producing that one podcast that never came out. Do you remember this?
Which one?
The one at the studio with the green screen behind them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the story?
So the story was that I almost fucking smoked weed without knowing, dude.
Wait, what?
Yeah, so you were on the soundboard and I was on the camera, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And you were puffing away on a little joint. You remember this? and they're in the middle of recording an episode, right? So we got to be quiet because you also have a live mic right in front of you, as like the producer mic. And this guy, you're hitting it, and we're focused on doing what we're doing, right? I'm manning the camera, and he's doing the sound. And he passed the joint over to me, and I grab it, and I'm like, and then we both look at each other like, oh!
Oh, yeah. Because that is a problem I have. Is if people stand next to me, I immediately will pass it just because, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And I remember I've done that to a few sober people, and I felt so bad. But it wasn't like, it was just, and I was, but I remember being like,
Because I almost hit it, dude. I was like close. I was like, oh, Jesus Christ.
I ruined your life.
That happened last time we were hanging out with
Martin Amini. Yeah.
Yeah. We were hanging out, and then Ryan passes me, and I take a hit, and then we're talking, and then I go to Gerardo, and then not only did I go to him, I was holding it, and then he didn't look at it, so I went like this
Yeah.
to get his attention, and then as soon as I did that, I was like, oh shit. I like flew back.
The monster will come out, dude. The monotonous stand-up monster, dude.
The Snorlax will come out.
He called you
Fuck,
fat.
dog.
Quick, make fun of his hair.
Well, thank you all for listening. Thank you all for viewing. Thanks for liking, subscribing, following us on Instagram at Isimo Podcast, ISIMOPODCAST. And please leave a rating and a review on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And we'll see you next time. For us at the studio, what do we always say? Don't fly.
It's my podcast.